My name is McKay Whitney. I got to go to Mexico to volunteer at an orphanage because of a Child's Hope Foundation. They put together this trip along with other trips to other orphanages throughout Mexico and the world. To get started, me and my family of 4 kids and my wife slept near San Diego, California, and then met up with the rest of the volunteers and drove across the border in Tijuana, Mexico. We drove for about an hour and a half past the border to get to the orphanage. That road was a nice paved toll road, freeway type road along the Pacific Ocean, and it was a beautiful drive with nice scenery and mountains, through the Mexico fields. When we finally got there, the orphan kids were very pleasant. We were worried they might be, shabby looking haircuts, old clothes, but they really looked great. They were well taken care of, obviously happy, very good mannered, polite, and very courteous. They, with their orphan staff, cooked dinner that night, served us, walked around and tried to talk to us a little bit, and we ate dinner together. The Rancho de los Niños orphanage in Baja California, Mexico, it has 60 plus orphans from 3 years old to 18 years old. Once they turn 18, they go out into the world and become active members of the community. There are some kids that may be younger than that, but they don't really know. One child who they told us was the youngest child there, he recently got dropped off there, and all they know is his name. They don't know his birthday. They don't know if he's 3, if he's 18 months. He's just a cute little boy. They have 10 plus special needs orphans who still live there after their 18th birthday because they have nowhere else to go. Because of their mental handicaps, they live on the ranch and they wander around, they come talk with us, they chase the dogs around, and they're just permanent residents. While we were there, the Child's Hope Foundation put together a few projects for us. One project included a lot of painting. Some ladies went and painted a mural in the food service room and dining room. Some of the moms took volunteer kids around to paint the walls, to paint the garbage cans, to paint the tree trunks and help to bug-proof them a little bit. There were also some farm projects. There was a watering system that they worked on to be able to produce crops so that the orphanage can make its own food and then also have some crops to sell to make some money. They did some tractor work. They put together a fertilizing water pump so they can get a better yield on their crops. There was also some construction, including building a brick wall, adding an addition to the kitchen dining room so it's a lot bigger. There was some stucco work. There was some concrete demolition and repouring of a sidewalk. The orphans there are in families, and there are several buildings on the property or campus where 10 or so orphans will live in a family with a mom and a dad there, and that's their family. They don't really get adopted from this orphanage. It's not really set up that way, but they live there. It's their mom and dad. They eat dinner with all the group, and this is where they're going to be. So they want it to be nice. When we go there, the headmaster of the orphanage is someone who used to be an orphan there when he was a kid. And one thing that really bothered him was coming home and seeing his home, the orphanage, with cracked walls, broken sidewalks, dead spots in the dirt. So that's part of what we did there, was help to beautify it and make it a place where these kids can have home pride. These kids play and play and play. They're happy. They really have nothing compared to what our kids are used to, and they're happy in spite of it. Even though it's only about 30 minutes from the beach, most of them hadn't ever been there until we went with them that week. They were so amazed at the sand and the ocean and the water and the breeze. It's sad that they've never even done that when it's a half hour away from them. They are very close, about 10 minutes away, to a zoo. And we went there. The kids all got to ride the mechanical bull. They got to ride the paddle boats, see all the zoo animals, play in the train, and go for a little ride. As the volunteers, each night, the Child's Hope Foundation had a fireside, and we'd all gather around the fire and talk about our plans for the next day, but we would reflect on what we felt that day, the projects that we did, how the children there reacted, what we noticed. And it was really a special time where people shared some very tender moments that they had with the orphan children. After the fireside, we would all go to our dorm rooms, and they were like big cabins with several beds in the room, so our whole family stayed in the room. And then there was a large bathroom with 3 showers, hot water showers, flush toilets, and hot water sinks to wash up with. In the mornings, all the volunteers gathered together in the volunteer kitchen. We cooked with each other and then ate breakfast and then got right to work. We worked throughout the morning until the orphans came home from school, and then we played with them. We had a big party the last night where there was music, there was a jumpy house, there was a mechanical bull, and of course, lots of music and tacos al pastor. It was so much fun. By the end of the time, my kids didn't want to come home. They really fell in love with their new friends there. They realized it doesn't take much to be happy. It just takes attitude. And that's what these little orphan children have, is a great attitude and a lot of happiness that when we're there, they get to share it with us. A Child's Hope Foundation sets these trips up several times throughout the year. And if you've got time, please volunteer and go with them. It is really the experience of a lifetime, but it's something that you can do several times a year. Take your kids, they'll love it. If you can't make it down there, then find a way to donate something so that they can keep putting these trips on for other people who do have the time to make it down. You will benefit so much. It'll really help you to be grateful for what you have. It'll help your kids to see what you've got, and it's really life-changing. Go down there and help those kids, and it'll bless your life.